guests, Kieran Perkins, of course, our swimming champion. And as we look down on the grid, a great scene. Peter Brock, a picture of total concentration and intensity from the man who's won this race 9 times. He's after his 10th and $100,000. The revs are rising, and a start in the great race of 1994 as they race away, slipping and sliding on this slippery and wet track. A lot of jockeying for position back in the field, but it's Peter Brock leads into the first corner, just ahead of Glenn Seaton, Mark Scaife and then Alan Jones. But hopefully, I might say this, but because all the cars aren't through yet, we've got a clean start into Hill Corner for the first time. But Glenn Seaton has taken back the lead with Mark Scaife behind him, then Peter Brock and then Larry Perkins coming through from 6th place on the grid as they head up Mountain Straight. I might say that even in wet conditions, they'll be hitting 5th gear and 245 kilometres an hour before they break down to just 100 kilometres an hour for the very slippery corner where Wayne Gardner crashed this morning as they head up into the BP cutting. This is going to be an exciting race. A lot of slipping and sliding going on here, Tim. I think this is going to be a very long race too. The race record 6 hours 19 minutes. I think it'll run at least 7 hours today. This is going to be a very, very tough race for all of these hardened competitors. As Mark Scaife has taken back the lead from Glenn Seaton as they head up over the mountain and into Reed Park. This is the trickiest part of the circuit. They go down through a dip and there'll be a lot of water gathered there, and these guys will be taking it very easy indeed. And we see John Bowe and the Dick Johnson Falcon wheel around Murray's Corner for the 161st time and go across the line to take the checkered flag. The 3rd time for the Dick Johnson team, and Dick Johnson jubilantly punching the sky as he enjoys the spoils of victory. He knows that soon that he will retire from this sport, and behind him Craig Lowndes. Craig Lowndes, a performance beyond expectations, a 19-year-old rookie here at Bathurst, and he's finished 2nd and challenged for the lead throughout the last half of the race. 3rd was Larry Perkins and 4th Tony Longhurst. In fact, just 12 seconds separating the first 4 contenders here at Bathurst as John Bowe takes the Dick Johnson Falcon into the Parc Fermé. Well, thank you, Andrew, and what an amazing race it's been. 161 laps, and it's taken just over 7 hours to complete. One of the longest Tooheys 1000s in the history. Of course, it was wet to start with, and the sun is brilliantly shining here in Bathurst now. And for Dick Johnson and John Bowe, their 3rd Bathurst victory. In fact, the 2nd for that pair, but the 3rd for Dick Johnson. And a marvellous effort. The car looked strong all day and didn't get caught up in the early dicing that went on between Larry Perkins, Mark Scaife, Glenn Seaton and Peter Brock. It stayed back a little bit and then charged from about 1/3 race distance all the way to the finish, and what a great effort it's been. They've had a great dice too over the last 30 or 40 laps with the young Craig Lowndes in the number 2 HRT Commodore. Of course, Peter Brock in the leading HRT Commodore crashed out of the race with just 20 laps remaining at the top of the mountain. But young Craig Lowndes, a Bathurst rookie, 19 years of age, never driven a touring car here at Mount Panorama before, and he actually took the lead off the seasoned John Bowe for a little while before Bowe came back and charged home to the finish. Less than 12 seconds separated the top contenders here, the top 4 contenders I should say, as they crossed the finish line after 161 laps and 1,000 kilometres of racing. Now that's just extraordinary. It shows a couple of things. It shows how strong these 5-litre touring cars are. The formula is just right for that, and also how close the formula is matched. The Falcons versus Holdens, only one Falcon in the top 10, but the Fords and Holdens have been evenly matched all day. And again, to Dick Johnson's team and to his lead driver John Bowe, a marvellous effort. Brad Jones, the 2nd driver with Craig Lowndes, also put in a marvellous drive, as did Larry Perkins and Greg Hansford and Tony Longhurst and Charlie O'Brien.